Hi guys, welcome to another Grit and Grime basketball podcast. I'm your host, as always, David Sagoe, with Thomas Arnal,
Yo, yo, yo.
Michael Downey,
All right.
and Jose Garcia Vidal.
What's up, guys? Hello.
And this is an interesting episode we're about to embark on. It's an accountability episode. We're going to call it Takesies Backsies. And what we are going to do what we have done is take a look back through some of our takes from the beginning of the year. Some of the things we thought were going to happen. And we're going to go, can I have a mulligan on that? Can I take just that take back? It doesn't sound good to listen back to.
Yeah.
So, should I start us off? I'll start us off. I delved deep into our back catalog, and I had a look at my top 10 list, and I was looking through the names, and I was like, man, I was really, really high on Bam Adebayo. I had him at number 12.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
some of the names that came after him on my list: Joel Embiid, pretty good player.
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah, he's all
That
right.
was the one that I was like, wow.
Jason Tatum.
Mhm.
Might have been a little recency bias, maybe. Paul George.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving.
Oh,
Jamal Murray, I stand by. Still taking Bam. Donovan Mitchell, Chris Paul, and then even some of my honorable mentions are just as good as Bam. Bradley Beal, Trae Young, Devin Booker. But that's one I wish I could just sort of pump the brakes on, maybe slide him back 4 or 5 spots. I think I kind of jumped out the window after the playoffs.
yeah. I think that Bam gave you reasons to believe in him, didn't he? As he did to all of us. I actually had him as a most improved player in the awards episode because he actually played so well last year and he did so well in the playoffs. Very important figure for the Heat in the finals. So I see why you thought at that time, right? It's just been not.
Mike, Tom, do we have any thoughts on my slight overrating of Bam Bam?
I'm more shocked by your underrating of Embiid. If you want to talk about something, I think the disrespect is real. Yeah, disrespect is real. But when you get to my pick, you'll see why I can't talk about that. To be fair, though, like Jose said, you can't it made sense at the time because we came out of the playoffs and he had a brilliant run. So you can't really argue otherwise and say, nah, the guy is not top 15. And yeah, I don't know, was he out for injuries? I think he had a bunch of health issues, I think. So that's probably got him out.
He didn't play the last game, but I think he hasn't missed as many as like Jimmy Butler, for example, has.
Yeah.
I think he's been there through a lot of the bad Heat times, which doesn't help either.
But they had a lot of problems as well, right?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of the thing for me. Like, I think if you listed out everybody on as in who you would want on your team in the playoffs, he jumps up that list probably based on last year. I think the Heat are going through a bit of a hangover from making it to the finals and then going immediately straight into like a regular season that they probably care less about, right? And the injuries, as you were saying, but still, Embiid lower, Kyrie lower. it's a stretch. It was a stretch.
Yeah. I mean, and the Heat are still fourth. Like we expect more from them, right? But they're still fourth in the East. And
But it's more recent.
They're still going to be up there, right?
Bad, right?
Yeah. The start was actually quite bad.
And there's a overwhelming feeling that like Jimmy Butler is responsible for so many of these wins. Like I don't know what their record is with and without him, but I'm pretty sure like the vast majority of these wins have come when he's been on the court as opposed to when he was out early in the season. And Bam is still great. He's just maybe a little bit lower than I said he was.
I think it's very similar to what happened we spoke about Jamal Murray a couple of episodes ago and how much we expect from him. And it's exactly the same with Bam, right? And what you just said, Mike, you said that, in the playoffs, you want him because you know what he can do in the playoffs. We'll see, right? But exactly the same thing. Like you expect so much from him because you know what he can do. Maybe he's just not consistent enough, right?
I thought the confidence that he gained from the playoffs and things like that would lead to like a more of a bump. I thought he was going to sort of take a bit of a leap this year. I think I had him as MIP actually. So there's a bit of that in there, but it's hard. He's like a Draymond, right? Like he you're going to see the best of him when everybody's firing on all cylinders and it's important games. He's not a regular season high performance guy.
16 game guy, not an 82 game guy.
16 game.
Yeah. So we move on. Tom, enlighten us.
All right, I'm staying on the top 10 list we did.
Okay. Best
player. And surprise, I was wrong with James Harden.
Oh, really?
All right, that was it. Next.
The fact that you're narrowing it down to just that one podcast that you're wrong about.
You have to go back like a couple of seasons, I think.
Dude, that was the pinnacle of my my love story.
Leave him out completely.
Yeah. But he was out of the top 10 anyway. Because the five of us got him out of the top 10. So I think potentially we could all share the blame and share my.
I don't know about that one.
I have to admit that I was pretty pissed off at Harden as well, and I listened to myself talking about Harden and how irresponsible he was and how unprofessional he was, and you see you can see it from different points of view, right? If you go into if you step into his shoes, you're going to know that a lot of shit's going on in his head, as Kyrie said later, and Draymond very well said it when he gave his speech. So I understand now why he did it, and now he's showing what he can do when he's happy, right? So
yeah.
I have to admit as well that I was wrong to blame him or accuse him of unprofessionalism.
So where are you putting him now, Tom?
Yeah,
in your corrections corner.
Yeah.
I think he's still behind. I think this season, right? Because you have to look at the entire thing with the entire Rocket storyline and the whole transfer. I'm still putting him I'll put him in the top 5. I'll get him up there because of what he's done. I mean, just the stat, right? The stat of was it last night, a couple nights ago, when he's the first player to put 30 point plus 10 rebounds and 15 assists in 1970 something. It's like, whoa. And zero turnovers. So that's pretty mad. So that he's found a team that he can easily fit in. But because of the whole Houston stuff and what I still think about him, still top 5. I still put Embiid and LeBron over him. I still put Luka, so and then who's that fourth? To be fair, Kyrie should be up there in the top 5 too.
What about Jokic? But then you have to put Harden 6th.
And Durant as well.
KD's not playing. Wait. KD's not played enough games. Like he's played like 5 games. I mean, he's been. It's not.
All
It's
right.
not enough. We've not seen enough from him. I mean, if I had to pick a player, like if you tell me KD or Harden, every day I'll go KD, obviously. But this season, yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
I think the biggest thing for me with Harden is his change in attitude, and especially like that very early in the season, it wasn't a good look. It was not a good look. But the fact that he's gone to this new team and has become a facilitator and sort of is doing what the team needs him to do to win, rather than going, okay, it's the Harden show, everybody fall behind. Because it could have been a disaster, if you're going to coin that with that. But it's the opposite, and they're really good.
And remember, if you're talking about the MVP race, like the MVP is there's a large portion of how people vote. They're also voting
Based
for
on
the story
narrative.
behind, right? The narrative and the story behind the player. So it's not people are going to be like me. People who are voting, they'll be like, he's done Houston dirty, to move on.
Yeah,
Agree or not, but yeah.
When you hear about the MVP race, you don't hear about Harden. Based on stats, you should, right?
Yeah.
But we don't hear about Harden. So there you go.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you said.
Yeah. He's incredible, man. He's just incredible. I think I would like to take back the some of the criticism I had for him not being adaptable to play in different teams. I think just before the trade happened, that was one of the things that people were talking about, and I definitely agreed that I wasn't sure how he fit into different teams. Like even when they were was there Warriors rumors and stuff like that? Like there was a few a few other random rumors, and I was just like, I don't know how he fits in at the Nets, but he's basketball genius. That's how he fits in.
Yeah. No, don't push it though.
But he didn't have to after that. That is, it should be noted. Like he couldn't have gone in with the Rockets attitude and played the way that he did on the Rockets.
Yeah, but it's funny that he's changed his attitude, but he's still like that example that you brought up, Tom, of the 30, 15, and 10 game. That's exactly something he would do at the Rockets. It just looks different when he does it on the Nets. It's the same numbers, the same production, the same high volume output on offense, but still managing to integrate all the other players on his team and being able to accommodate Kyrie throughout the whole stretch as well. It's impressive.
Absolutely.
They're going to be scary in the playoffs. It's going to be scary hours. Shouts to Drake, friend of the show.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might do some digging and pull out all the times Tom has said something bad about James Harden.
That's going to be a 3 hours long
podcast.
It's going to be 3 hours long. How are you going to do that?
Every episode.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, Mike, take us away.
So mine is from the awards predictions from the start of the season before a ball had been bounced. I had Luka as MVP, so I'm gonna roll that one back. I think I was probably a little bit high. I think I haven't listened back to it, so I think my justification was that it was going to be a bit up in the air, and there were going to be a lot of names in the ring for MVP, and he might pinch it because of that. But in reality, the Mavs aren't good enough, and I don't think they ever were going to be good enough. I should have backed the Sixers trade more, because taking away like players like Seth Curry is kind of major for them. So
yeah. Their offense has dipped. It's looking better lately, actually, because their shooters are starting to knock down shots, and their defense has improved personnel-wise. But yeah, they're currently 14th. They currently have, not even 14th, joint 12th best record in the league, alongside Boston and Charlotte, which is a weird combination of teams to be alongside.
Yeah, what are they in the conference?
In the conference,
In the conference, they are eighth behind the Spurs.
Just behind the Spurs, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, being on an 8th seed is not MVP material.
Nope.
And I think 8th is kind of a good spot for them. Like looking at the teams who are above them right now, I wouldn't be like, oh, well, they're better than these guys. Like, they aren't.
Yeah.
Phoenix is the one that's like overachieving right now, but
yeah.
Jumping on the back of what you say is true, because I did the previews. I had the Mavs on the previous episode, and I remember at the time I said that everything they needed was some 3-and-D guys, to improve on their defense, especially, and still get the same production on offense. But it's not happening for them. I thought about picking them as well on the one thing I had wrong, but it's one of the multiple things I had wrong, and I'm very disappointed in them. I don't know what it is. I can't quite put my finger on it, but hey,
you better get your act together, Mister.
I know. I'm on. Is it? Am I getting a notice or something? I don't know.
Also, Porzingis hasn't been the same.
Yeah, Porzingis, I think, is the issue. They were trade rumors
with
as well.
the Porzingis Porzingis that you had on the Knicks, it would be a completely different story.
They realized it was just a cornetto taped to his head.
It wasn't a unicorn. No.
See, the Knicks, all of them there, they knew it. They went, nah, none of that.
Sure.
Yeah, they were like, we're going to steal Dennis Smith Jr. from them. With this non-unicorn.
Sure.
Get that weak shit out of here.
Oh man. Yeah. Anything else on that, Jose?
I think I mean I've been seeing a few Dallas games, and Porzingis has been shooting a lot better actually, but he's still taking these logo shots that he shouldn't be. Just go down, get in the paint, you go into score anyway.
He can shoot over anyone from the logo.
Sure.
He can, but he can't score. Anybody can shoot.
He can shoot them. He can't make them.
I can shoot from the logo. Yeah. So I'm making the shots.
You can brick them the same way he does. I mean, it's just if there's one social experiment to do for you guys, it's get on Twitter at the same time that the Mavs are playing, and when Porzingis has one of those games, and just keep refreshing. And it's like, why is he shooting? Does he know there's a paint? Like, he can go in the paint. Does he know he's taller than everyone? Like, please get in the paint. What are you doing? It's horrible. Like, Porzingis, I don't know what's going on with him. It's just
like Porzingis reminds me of, when you're a kid and you're learning how to play.
Yeah.
And there's this new kid, and he's super tall, right? And everybody's just telling him, mate, just get close to the rim. We'll pass you the ball. Skip it up here. Turn around. Score. No, but he's grabbing the ball. He's putting it down. He's stealing it from him. He's getting turnovers, and then he's shooting threes, right? That's exactly what happened with Porzingis. Porzingis is a new guy. That's learning how to play basketball.
It's the new league, man. The skilled big, I'm telling you. You can't stop it. You can shoot over everyone.
It's just been unleashed by
Rick
Carlisle.
Exactly. KD's a 7-footer. Should he get under the rim? No.
Not the same skill set, I believe. Not the same.
A bit different.
Yeah. Porzingis has more range.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Join the 50, 40, 90 club, and then you can stay outside. How about that?
Yeah. So, okay, you've gone with what did you go with? Luka Doncic as MVP. So that brings us to Jose.
Yeah, I have two kind of short ones, but funny ones, and you're going to love this. On my, it was actually my first episode.
Debut came out the gates.
It was my debut.
Fuck right up.
And I said that I was very much looking forward to see Blake Griffin's dunks.
We
For
all
the
are.
Pistons.
We all are.
Yeah, I still
So
am.
is he.
But so he didn't
We're
dunk
scratching our
this
heads on that
season.
one.
He hasn't dunked. It's just
No.
unbelievable how it's like a massive decline in his athleticism and his morale and everything. Hopefully, now that he's on the Nets, he'll feel better. So he has his best chance of winning a championship, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
And I said this off the air, but I'm going to put it on the air for the next time we do a Takesies Backsies pod. Him and DeAndre Jordan reuniting in the Brooklyn Nets at this age. They've gone from Lob City to Lob Shitty.
Oh, come on, man.
DeAndre still gets up there.
He does.
I
fair.
think Blake's gonna be re-energized. We'll see what he's got left in the tank, because there's no better position for him now.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. As long as
whether
they
he's
bring him off the
dunking
bench.
again, I don't know.
I don't know. I think you're widely optimistic because I've seen a couple of Pistons games when he was in there. And it's not pretty to watch. Those legs are
Pistons, for
gone.
me, it didn't make sense. He was, but he wasn't going to be happy there. Like,
Sure.
he was in LA. He was on a good team, and then he's gone to Detroit, and he's on a bad team, and he doesn't have Chris Paul chucking stuff up anymore.
Lost his Kardashian as well.
The curse.
And also, like, not even D-Rose. D-Rose went back to the Knicks, so it was like nothing there for him at all.
Mm-hmm.
So a good move for him to just go to the Nets, right?
Sure.
Yeah. There's not many better places that he could have gone.
It was that or the Lakers or something like that. That's it.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I wanted to go back, and I had so this is my prediction for the NBA Finals: the Nuggets against the Bucks.
Still could happen. Still could happen.
Still a thing.
Come on, man.
I don't see
Keep
it,
the
man.
faith.
Not today. No. Yeah, but no.
Dude, we'll revisit in July. In July, we'll go back to this episode. We'll be like, look, the Bucks are champions.
After the finals are done. The Nuggets play the worst defense, or one of the worst defenses I've seen. So you can win championships with that. So
what's the new prediction?
Well, it's either the Jazz or Lakers against the Nets.
Okay.
Solid, yeah. Oh, the Nets.
Versus
the Nets, yeah.
Versus the Nets, okay. Wow. People are just going to bail on my Sixers like this already.
Yeah.
I still have faith. I still have faith that Embiid is their kryptonite. It's just a matter of, I don't know.
Injuries.
It's injury, it's health, and then, I don't know, it's just the balance, right? Because the Sixers do play really good defense, and then the Nets play really good offense, and it's just which one sort of wins out.
Yeah.
And I think when it happens, we're going to be like, yeah, of course that was going to happen. Like if the shots don't fall for the Nets in the playoffs, then you'll be like, well, yeah, defense wins championships and all of that cliched stuff. Whereas on the other hand, if the Nets just outscore them and like they play great defense, but there's better offense from the Nets, then we'll just be like, well, you can't guard Kyrie or Harden or Durant. Like either way.
You're absolutely right. So we're analyzing the game, right? Yeah. So the players lose and players win, but we're always going to win. Right, so no matter what happens, we'll say, of course, that makes sense, right? So it's it's actually very valuable and very, very honorable what we did today. We went back and looked into our mistakes from the past and corrected them or tried to correct them. So it's not many people do this. I read this article the other day. You remember Stephen A. Smith from ESPN? He said Kyrie should retire, and then he's like, he's gonna win a championship. Like, come on, man, like. I didn't hear him say, my bad, I shouldn't have said that, right?
Yeah.
When I said he should retire for having a week's break, actually, a little bit a little bit jumping the gun on that.
Yeah.
Look, I've got Stephen A's picture. Look, that's what Stephen A is. Freaking. That's what he does. Spins around faster than you can, change his opinion every 10 minutes. So yeah.
It's wild, man. Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah. So what was your second one? Sorry, it was
the Nuggets to win it all.
Nuggets to win it. Oh, you had them winning against the Bucks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, if they're gonna play the Bucks, then yeah, I would also.
Jose was just looking at the roster, and he just went straight down to number 6. He's like, "Composer, how can they
not
lose?
even 6? He's like,
how can they?"
He was
lose?
like 9th at the beginning of the season as well. He's been playing well, by the way.
He's great. I just think defensively he'll always struggle in the league.
You'll always struggle, yeah.
Yeah. No, man, keep the faith. There's still time.
I don't think they're gonna win it.
It's the Bucks. The Bucks is the one that, like, I mean, come on, man. Just the Nets. They really seem to have taken a decline, and the Nets are just looking so powerful right now.
I think the Bucks are actually weirdly underrated now. But
it's a good position for them. They have been the top dog in the East for the last couple of years and disappointed everybody in the playoffs. Now they're the underdog, which is it might be a good thing for them. It might be exactly what they need. So
yeah, you still have to stop Giannis, right? Just because people have done it doesn't mean it's easy.
Repeatedly.
Yeah, hey, matchups are everything in the playoffs.
Yeah,
telling you, matchups are everything. We're cycled back to me already. Wow, all of these Takesies Backsies. So my second one is the Oklahoma City Thunder from our Western Conference preview. I said they would be in the basement. I said they'd be underneath the basement. I said they'd be in the underworld, and they're not. They're currently 12th in the West. They have the same record as the New Orleans Pelicans. And if you combine the league, their record is joint 21st with what they're 1 game behind Indiana, 2 games behind Chicago in the loss column. So they're not that far off the middle of the league, which is the Warriors at 500. So they're 5 games behind that. They're playing, man.
Yeah.
Lou Dortz looked good. That was one of Mike's good takes. He's looked good. Darius Baisley, and a few of the other guys. They just play hard. SGA has been incredible, especially the last month or so. He's been playing like an all-star, nailed on all-star. And they beat some good teams and taken some good teams to overtime and stuff like that. They've been really, really, really good. And they're above. Well, they're joint with the Raptors, who I'm sure most of us picked to be in the playoffs. And then they're comfortably above some of the weaker teams in the league. So it's looking like where are they? If we count up, it looks like they're gonna. They'll probably still get a lottery pick, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a high one unless they jump up, which is bad for them. But hey,
well, no, but
good that they're
everybody
trying.
kind of gets a similar stab at it now, right? The odds have been flattened on that, so being really crap isn't as good as what it used to be.
Yeah.
No, they're really good.
But if there was a year to do it, this was the year.
I watched a bunch of games, and I think recently I watched the games against the Knicks last night. No, 2 nights ago. They play really well. It makes sense what they're trying to do. All of their young players are really good, so they won't obviously achieve much in the next 4 or 5 years. But if they keep the same core with the same bunch of young players, they could do something interesting. Not championship winning, but it could certainly build around those guys. And like you said, SGA has been really, 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 really good. To the point, maybe MIP, don't know, could be. And then my guy, maybe I say maybe see, in the conversation, at the table, or around the table, and then my guy Maledon is playing really well as well. He's learning first season. He's not doing anything extraordinary, but he'll be there. Give him a couple of years. He's a shy guy. He'll come through with something. He'll be there. I like them. They're cool.
Yeah, it's an exciting team to watch. The young and athletic. So that's a good thing about them. And yeah, I don't. So you just said something to like maybe they won't win anything in the next 4 or 5 years, or they have to be patient. Like, yes, I don't think they will win anything in the next 4 or 5 years, but will they improve every one of these years? That's to be seen, because players either get so much better than they get, traded, or they decide to leave when their contracts end. The key, I think, is to hold on to these young good players, right, and build them into a team. Because right now all they have is potential, but and that's one of the biggest problems in the NBA and maybe in most leagues in the world and any sport, right? Just hold on to your young players, to your young core of players as much as you can.
They got like 1 billion picks as well.
Yeah, they've got a lot of picks.
I swear there's only 3 teams that actually have any picks for the next 6 years.
Yeah.
The Pelicans, them, and probably
Celtics. Yeah.
Just hoarding.
Yeah, I think mine's quite similar to that. If we're already.
I just wanted to say shouts to their coach, Mark Daniel, who's doing a great job with those players.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, mine is in a similar vein, but it's the other side of the conference.
Do it.
So it's the Cavs. I had them for the worst record. And again, yeah, they've been pretty good around the young core, young guards. They've been pretty good. And I completely overlooked them and just thought they were going to be trash once again.
Hot trash. Smoking trash.
I mean, I don't think I recorded it, but I thought that Minnesota were going to be better than what they were. But yeah, Minnesota, wow.
Yeah,
that is not looking good.
Not great.
The worst team in US sport. The team with the worst record in Europe. It's horrible.
Yeah, now that you mention it, the Cavs have already won 14 games, and last year they won 19 total.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean they're not not tearing the league out or anything like that, but they're just a lot better than what I thought they were gonna be.
Better than you expected. Yeah.
And then that's with what's his name? Larry Nance missing some games. He was playing really, really well for them early in the season when they actually had a better winning record. And then he got injured and they sort of went down a little bit, and then their guards sort of missed a couple of games as well. So that's improvement even with turmoil, right? Kevin Love not playing, Andre Drummond being sat the last few games and stuff like that. So yeah.
And now they've got the guy from the Nets who I can't remember what his name is. It's a throw.
Jared
Allen. Thank you.
Big JaVale McGee.
Yeah,
keeping them afloat.
If he can sort of like settle there and is happy there, he's a good player to build around.
Yeah, I like his fit
with the guards.
Yeah, I like his fit with the guards.
Wow. Sorry, now I just realized we just talked about the Cavs. I just took me a while to process the.
Hey, man. When we started the pod way back then, the Cavs was the second best team in the world.
Oh no,
in the world.
How quickly things change.
So we roll back around to Tom.
Yay! All right, you ready? So I've talked hard, and now let's talk about the best team in the entire universe, the Knicks. So I had the Knicks, right? Shocker. My prediction was they won't suck as much as the last couple of years when we finish bottom or second to bottom.
Yeah.
But frick yeah. We're gonna win the league in the next couple of years. You'll see. Mark my word. 16th of March.
We're gonna win the
What is
league.
this? This is supposed to be things that you got wrong. Why are you just?
Yeah, I got it wrong. We're better than I thought we would be. I was wrong. Let's look at the stats. Look, the Orlando Magic were in the playoffs last year. We've got 7 more wins than they do. We're 50% right now. We're good. We're 20-20. See that?
Yeah.
Washington Wizards with their 2 massive stars, Westbrook and Beal. Where they at? Nowhere. Toronto. They won the league like 2 or 3 years ago. Behind us. Boom. Indiana. Hot mess. Behind us. The Hawks, they were supposed to be the contenders. Boom. Behind us. We up there with Charlotte, okay, surprise, fine. Celtics. Well, don't mention them. The Celtics are up there, and then we one win behind. Well, no, okay, 3.
Yeah.
The Heat, but goddamn man, we're gonna get that star. We're gonna get a huge all-star at some point. Like a Melo should come back. We got Rose. Hell yeah.
Melo should come back.
That huge star. We're gonna get Melo back.
Good need.
You see, and this is the crazy thing. It's like you finally outdo expectations, and then just go straightly way off the boil, jumping off the roof like this is above the rim.
Spoken like a true New Yorker. We said this was going to happen, Tom. I remember myself and Patrice said the Knicks' problem is that they start playing really well, and then they get every other fan excited, right? And then you get really excited, and then they start sucking again, and you get depressed again. So come on, man, don't just take it easy. You're doing really well. You're doing really so just stay there, enjoy the moment.
We'll see who'll have the last laugh when LeBron and Zion come and join us in the Big Apple. Boom, big three with Randall. Shit.
You're stacking power forwards as well again.
We're stacking point guards, weighing up power forwards again. Yeah, do it as well.
I read on the news the other day that Patrick Ewing went to see a college or high school game, and they asked him for his security pass. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. He has
some other people. Yeah.
I'm so on the fence with it. Cause I agree with you. It's like, what? Come on, you should be recognized. Like, his face is probably everywhere in that building. But again, it's security. They're like a private contractor. So it's like, but again, if you're gonna be in the Madison Square Garden as a security guard, like, you should know who the frick is,
right?
That
should be in your interview.
Yeah, there should be like 3 or 4 faces. We know one's gonna be James Dolan, so whatever. But there should be 3 or 4 faces where it's like, this guy owns the building, and Patrick Ewing should be one of them, right?
Surely in the security room, there's like, look at those faces. These guys, they don't need a pass. Like, like MJ, Reggie Miller, Spike Lee.
Spike Lee.
Yeah.
Now we're like, for real, Spike Lee and Ewing and John Stark, and like, these guys, like, you can just walk in whenever.
You probably would have put Oakley on there as well, though.
Oakley as well, but that was a few years ago. Yeah, not anymore.
He's on a different list now.
He's on the list, yeah. No, but seriously though, they've they rose to the occasion. I was gonna say, no, it's not that, but they're better than I thought they would be, because I put them on my list in like 10th or 11th.
I thought you were out of mind when you did that. I was like, you are
no, but the thing
and smoking.
No, because it made sense. Like, all the moves they've done.
It did not make sense. No,
it did.
No.
Like they got people that knew what they were doing, and then they got a bunch of players that were okay. No stars. And that was fine.
I mean, fair play, but it did not make sense.
It does. In the history of what's been happening in the last 15 years, 10 years, let's say, 10 years, it did make sense that you would start with no expectations. You start low, and you'll be fine. You're trying to put something in place. Like when they got the coach that Coach Tibbs in there, it does. He's what's needed for New York. Somebody that can put some defense and build a team. That's fine. You know, and again, I said you're not going to win titles for a few years, and that's okay. You just need to make sure that it's not a shit show anymore. That's I think that's the expectations these days. It's like, don't fuck up again. You know, just make it that people are happy and you know, proud of the team. That's what they're doing now.
Yeah. He's done a really good coaching job over there. It's really, really impressive.
He needs to chill with that, with his philosophy of letting the same guys on court for 38, 40 minutes, because that's
not going to happen. Sorry.
It's not going to happen, but yeah. I watched games though. I watched the games against the who they played last time. Damn it.
Nets was last night.
No, not the Nets was last night. The game before, OKC. Like they're up by 10 with 30 seconds to go, and then he subs everyone out. I'm like, you know, starting 5 out. I'm like, okay, you've got the win. I know you wanted to get that W there, but surely you can let them rest a little bit, you know. But defensively it makes sense, and then Randall is just red hot. You know, I know Patrice doesn't agree.
He's playing really well. Well, yeah, and I remember exactly when we talked about the Knicks, and one of the discussions that we had was that Randall was not a player that you could build a franchise around, that you could rely on being an all-star, and just didn't have that X factor that was needed for the team to win. And he proved us completely wrong. He's playing so well. He's been efficient. He's been solid. He has a bit of a temper, as on the other day fighting as a ref, but that's okay, right? You need that as a leader. You need to show that fierceness sometimes. So I also have to agree there that Randall has been really, really good.
Yeah,
probably he's gonna get MIP.
Hey,
maybe. There's a few though.
There's a few, yeah.
What's his name down in Detroit? God damn it! Today's not a thinking day. From the Nuggets to Detroit.
Good luck.
From the Nuggets to Detroit.
Yeah. Small forward. Good defender. Oh, come on,
Detroit.
Guys. Oh, I know who you mean.
Ariza.
Jamal...
He's a twin.
Man. The twin.
Jeremy Grant.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
Jamal Grant.
JJ Grant.
Cut this. Can we cut this? Jeremy Grant. Yeah, but Detroit at bottom, so you can't give it to anybody at bottom. No awards to bottom teams.
Of course you can. He's totally expanded his game. Like, he's doing things that we've never seen him do on a basketball court. And
he backed himself for it as well.
Yeah. All right, Jose, bring us home.
Yeah, so I got this completely wrong. I mean, it's a good team, the Jazz, right? I thought they would finish 4th or 5th. That was my prediction, and it's just they're just blowing my mind the way they're playing, the way they're shooting, and they didn't move a lot in the offseason. So it's another example, as I always say about the Spurs, is trust the process, trust in your guys. Main things that are I'm contributing their success to is obviously their 3-point shooting is just off the charts, but Michael Conley is playing really well, and I think that's what they needed. They got 3 All-Stars. Obviously, Conley came in after, because of injuries, but he's playing really, really well, and I see them as, I told you, as finalists, possible finalists.
Yeah, if they step away from having what's his face, Spider-Man Mitchell, because when you play, we're doing great, yeah, with names. Jesus.
Peter Parker.
If Donovan Mitchell stays away from the point guard position, they'll do well, because every time he's bringing up the ball, it's just like he's just hugging I'm not gonna say another swear word, but like he's hugging the ball so much, and he's disrupting the offense when he's a point guard. Like as a point guard, it's just horrible. I watched the game the other day, and he was like, just give the ball up, give it to somebody else. Like, you don't carry the ball. You're really, really good as a finisher. Like, at the end of the line, like that's yours, but like bringing the ball up, no, that's not your job. And again, they that's because Conley was on the bench. But again, it's not your role. Like you give it to I got names.
Ingles.
Conley.
Ingles. No, Ingles is better. Like it's better to have him bring up the ball than
And
Donovan Mitchell.
I'm done. You guys keep talking.
That there's like interesting like advanced stats around Mitchell's play that state that almost all of his like teammates that get high minutes actually not play worse, but have I think it's a worse net rating with him as part of their 5 in the lineup than without him.
Right.
So so as much as this is still like a positive, he's not like a negative player, but the team plays better without him on the floor in a bunch of their best lineups. It doesn't involve him.
Right. Yeah, and also Jordan Clarkson is playing really well. He had the 30-point game, was it? Coming from bench, really good. So they're playing really.
They are.
Well.
I think it's a little bit early to say that they're not going to finish 4th.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Oh really?
Wow.
Okay. Didn't expect that.
I think you look at it, and as you're saying, like they're shooting really well. Are they going to be able to like continue that? Are teams that did make moves, are they going to start gelling a bit more and start playing a bit better in the second half of the season? It's the West, man. It's tight.
It is, and I think that we can almost like divide the West into tiers, can we? Like you see, just the Lakers and the Clippers are up there. Maybe the Nuggets. We would expect the Nuggets to be up there. We didn't expect the Suns to be up there at all, and nobody said nothing about that, right? We expected the Suns to be better, but not second in the West at any point.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, for sure.
We should probably be taking back disrespecting Chris Paul.
I've already done one. I already have done my job. Okay, it takes a while. No, one's enough.
But they've been great. Another great coaching job by Monty Williams. Bridges is so good. Like we talk about teams needing 3-and-D guys, and he is just it. Like that is what we mean. That is 3-and-D within a role player. Like not like compared to someone like Klay Thompson, who's obviously like a star in that position. But Bridges, as far as 3-and-D role players goes, he's just been perfect in that role. They're really good. They're really good. But that concludes the shows, guys. Thank you for putting your egos aside, your pride to the side.
Those were our only mistakes. There are no others.
I'm not putting this episode out, don't worry. Oh man. Oh crap, do you know what I have to do? I have to do something and put it at the beginning. Yeah. Make it look natural. I have to put my hair back to how it was at the beginning of the episode.
Me too,
They American women.
We should make a jingle.
Yes, please.
Is the pandemic making you feel lonely?
Have you had enough of Pornhub?
Are you sick and tired of dating
Russian
birds?
women?
Is your bride that you order via mail getting tired already?
No.
Mail order bride. Oh man.
Is your wife getting on your nerds? Your nerds women?
Easy.
Gosh.
Still recording. This is gold.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All
right.
Jokes to be had.
Yeah. So I'll put it right at the start, actually. Where are we? So, hi. We start with a word from our sponsors. They are who helps us keep the pods coming and supports us in doing that. So, Date American Women has over 30,000 users, and there are 3 female users to every male. Think about that ratio.
Nice.
All of these women are searching for a British man. So if you're tired of struggling to get noticed on dating sites, this is definitely the site for you. That's dateamericanwomen.com.
Yep.
Do it.
I really want to make jokes.
Me too. Look away. Go ahead. I can edit out anything that comes here. That's going to go at the beginning, and then whatever we say at the end is going on the end, and that's the podcast. Let it fly.
I was say, throw your hot dog in that tunnel.
Oh my God.
It's American. It's American reference.
Oh shit!
Lucky there's a Family Guy. See?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mm.
And then what? We wrap up the podcast. What do I say at the end? Social media stuff. Oh, and last episode, I forgot to let you guys plug your podcast, so I'm going to do that
I
now.
haven't done mine in ages, so
You want them to
taking a
forget?
break. Taking a break.
Oh man. All right. And action. So we come to an end. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and review the podcast on any and all social media platforms and wherever you listen to us. You can get at us on social media platforms at Grit and Grime Pod. Reach out, engage, take part in our little questions that we put out from time to time, and let us know what you think of the podcast. So before we get out of here, Tom, do you want to plug your pod?
I do, and I will. I'm also taking part in another podcast, which is happily named Catching Up with the Nerds, where we talk everything nerd related. The new podcast coming out this week at some point, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, we don't know, is on the Justice League, and it's as long as the new movie that is coming out on Thursday. It's about 4 hours long, but we've shrunk that down to an hour and a half, so it's all good. That's it. All social medias, we are just look up Catching Up with the Nerds. We'll be there. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I wish Zack Snyder would also edit the film down to an hour and a half, but that's not going to happen.
He did, and you weren't happy with it.
No, he didn't. Joss Whedon did it.
Anyway, listen to the episode and you'll know all about that.
Oh man, so much stuff is coming out on Friday. And Mike, do you want to plug mask wearing and getting vaccines?
Yes. Don't be dickheads, everyone.
Heard it here first.
Wear a mask, get a vaccine, stay the fuck inside.
Words to live by. So we are out of here. From me, David Sagoe, from Thomas Arnal, from Michael Downey,
Good night,
and from Jose Garcia. Vidal.
Bye bye.
Keep those engines revving.